May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another Cuke audio podcast. And this one is the last in the seemingly endless series of Tassajara Stories. It's not really the last Tassajara Stories. I have zillions of notes, and I'm going to start going through and trying to put this thing together. I've been getting a lot of help from Wendy Piercig, so we'll see what comes of it. But Katrinka just flew off today for America. Well, actually, she flew off to Jakarta because the Bali Denpasar International Airport is closed and has been for a long time to international traffic. Anybody wanting to get here has to go through Jakarta and has to quarantine in a hotel. And there's only certain ones you can do, and you can't leave your room. It was 3 days, but now with this South African thing, it's back up to a week. It was 2 weeks at one point, and there were people who did that. There were people who actually, they allowed tourists to come in at some points when the pandemic was much stronger here. But come in on like business visas, paying like $800 each and quarantining for 2 weeks. There were families that did that, but not much. Anyway, driving her to the airport today was it was nice because there's not as much traffic because there ain't no tourists. I mean, there's some, I don't know how many, maybe some Indonesian tourists, maybe some. I don't know what the situation is now. I mean, it changes so much. But anyway, this 6 weeks, she's gone. I've got some things to wrap up before I start concentrating on it, but I want to try to get all these different pieces together. And Wendy has a lot of suggestions and notes and things. And we'll see what we come up with, putting it together into a book, or maybe into just an audio book. We'll see if anybody's interested in it, And just because, people in publishing doesn't mean they're going to do you any favors. They got to look at it and think, can we make money on this or not? That's it. Oh, and all those hopeful people out there wanting to make money with publishing. Some of them do. It's not as bad as buying a lottery ticket. Anyway, so this is the last piece I have in this Tassajara Stories selection, and it's not really a Tassajara story. I just put it at the end because it's a song I wrote about Tassajara. Yeah, I just checked. I wrote it in 1980, September of 1980. And, it was a song I recorded with the little group we had back then. Around that year, too, around 1980, I made a little tape. There was a group of us meeting in Bolinas in the studio where I was living with Liz Twomey. So she's on piano. Daddy Dave Murray is on bass. Susan Goldhaber. Well, what was Dave playing? Susan was playing bass. I'm not sure what he played. Were they both playing? No. Well, anyway. And Alan Stone, may he rest in peace, is on guitar. The guy Don, who became the principal of the school, he was on harmonica, so he might have been in this. I mean, if you go to diffusermusic.com, just write Where the World Was Born in the site search box, and it'll go to it. And you can see Fooled by Everything, it's all there. I might publish it on the internet, like I just published this album called Bali Yuga on the Way to Venus. It's real easy to do, and I might do that. So anyway, this is Where the World Was Born. I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to play the tape. And that's it. That's this podcast, aside from the rambling I just did. We went back where the world was born. We were sitting in the early morn. Then it was eating, working, meeting, hiking. It was all quite to our liking. We went back down the bulldozed road, which had well forgotten the winter's snows. Smells awakened history and sounds a certain mystery. We went back where the blue jays reign and the crayfish wait for your toes. We went back where the world was born, and we were hanging around after dinner drinking coffee. Now, 1 is for the water, that saunters over rocks. 2 and 3, the hot springs and the cold. 4, the lovely wetness that comes diving from the sky. And 5 comes in by bottle down the road. We went back where the world was born. We were silent in the early morn. Then it was eating, working, meeting, hiking. It was all quite to our liking. We went back down the bulldozed road, which had well forgot the winter snows. Sounds awakened history and smells a certain mystery. We went back where the blue jays reign and the crayfish wait for your toes. We went back where the world was born. And we were sitting in the golden wind in our black robes. So this has been a Cuke Audio podcast. I'm DC Poobah of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, coming to you from sleepy Sonora with Doggett Bandita, Feline Cuchita, but not dear lovely Katrinka, who's already landed in Jakarta, and will be waiting to leave at 12:30 a.m. Jakarta time. That's 1:30 a.m. here. That makes it Jakarta the same as New York right now, East Coast. So at noon on the 30th. But it'll be 12:30 a.m. on the 1st of December. She leaves. Then she flies to Doha, Qatar Airways. They're good. And then from Doha to San Francisco. Okay, and here's Where the World Was Born by our little group in Bolinas. Oh, but first I want to say, wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.
We went back where the world was born. We were sitting in the early morn. Then it was eating, working, meeting, hiking. It was all quite to our liking. We went back down the bulldozed road, which had well forgot the winter snows. Smells awakened history and sounds a certain mystery. We went back where the blue jays reign and the crayfish wait for your feet. Yeah, we went back to where the world was born. We were hanging around after dinner, drinking coffee. One is for the water, oh, the sun is over rocks. 2 and 3, the hot springs and the cold. 4, the lovely wetness that comes diving from the sky. 5 comes in by the bottle down the road. One is for the water, oh, the sun is over rocks. 2 and 3, the hot springs and the cold. 4, the lovely wetness that comes diving from the sky. 5 comes in by bottle down the road. We went back where the world was born. We were silent in the early morn. Then it was eating, working, eating, hiking. It was all quite true, I liked it. We went back down the cold old road, which had well forgot the winter snows. Sounds awake in history and smells a certain mystery. We went back where the blue jays rain and the crayfish wait for your toes. We went back where the world was born. We were sitting in the golden wind in our black robes.